Hey, I want to welcome you to the last installment of the funkyfarmer.com. It's funky with a dash, farmer.com. Kefir 101. This is water kefir and preserving and making sauerkrauts and growing water grains and fruit grains and those kind of things. A little different than the probiotic of the milk kefir, which I just finished my 2 videos on that. This is an experiment. I have no idea. I don't know how long this is going to last, but it still isn't bad. I wanted to see what happens if you put a lot of it's all hot peppers. It's a hot pepper mix. I haven't been able to try it now. When you're working with kefir, and especially the kefir grains, when you open this up and smell it, it should have a pleasant smell to it. If it smells like rotten food, then you should throw it out. What's the rule? When in doubt, throw it out. Now, I'm gonna be the first one to admit to you that this is probably the most disgusting part of what I do. But what we're trying to grow inside of here, is there's one. Is this? This is a kefir grain. Now this particular kefir grain is made out of jackfruit and strawberries and all that kind of stuff, and that's what was in here to grow it. Now, me, I like to rinse it off just because I don't really like that stuff. Whoop. You can see the grain, it's opaque, and it'll just pull apart. And it has a kind of a no texture, kind of, don't know what that flavor is exactly, taste, but they're probiotic grains. They're great for your digestive system. And what happens is they get themselves wrapped around this nasty fruit, and they actually eat the fruit, all of the pulp out of the fruit. And so that's what we just check on to make sure. And so you can see that there's a whole bunch of grains here that are just eating all the stuff. And so as you see, they're just keeping growing. And it smells sweet, tastes sweet. Just wanted to check on it. It's good. Here's another one. You hear it just pop. And it smells like an elderberry wine or something of that nature. And you can just see as we pull up in here, nice big healthy grains, and they're feeding on the sugars of the fruit. So instead of the fruit, your ripe fruit and your rotten fruit, I should say, or your overripe fruit, instead of throwing it away, if you're going to do that and you don't want to make banana bread or whatever you want to do, you can throw it in your kefir jars and let your kefir grains eat them up, and then take your kefir grains out and eat them up. And you can just, like, here's a nice big giant one. Yeah, see? And so it's this thing right here, and that's good just the way it is. That one's a little sour. I didn't rinse it off. But those grains will continue just eating all of the. Here's one that's just rich in minerals and nutrients. And so you just keep those mixed around, and that's fruit kefir. Now, if you added a bunch of sugar and a bunch of water, and you seal those up nice and tight, and you hit them in about 10 to 12 days, they can produce a small amount of alcohol. Now, for my favorite, this is my sauerkraut starter. And I just check on it every once in a while. And I cannot get that to open up for nothing. There it goes. Whew. Now, the kefir inside of here, and there's kefir growing, is actually beginning to really break the food down. And when it gets to be like this, I don't like the consistency of it, but it's a great starter. You take a spoon of this and add it to a fresh pack, and what you get is this. And this is a sauerkraut, and you have to every once in a while just kind of crack it, make sure it's okay. You want to make sure that is puffed up. Now, this one was sucked all the way down, but with the heat it puffed up. Okay, so what happens is, what we do is we just every couple weeks we stir them up, and then we got to go find somebody who likes sauerkraut. And this is sauerkraut and Brussels sprouts, and this is sauerkraut hearts of the cabbage. And so that's all you want to do. You want to check them, make sure that they're good, that they don't look bad, they don't look like they're rotten. There should be bubbles. There should be bubbles in them and rising. And I like a lot of caraway. And so that's sauerkraut, kefir, and oh, it's so good.